All right, so the NBA, when are they playing did they reschedule those games yet? The three that
Yeah,
were
they're
postponed?
starting today. I think the first game actually is playing now.
Oh, cool. So let's run down the playoffs. So Boston is playing Toronto.
Yep.
Who you got in that one?
Oof. That's the toughest one I think of all of them. I'm going to say Toronto.
You got Toronto? Why?
I think well, first of all, Boston's not going to have Gordon Hayward for a little bit. He hurt
Yep.
his
Yeah,
ankle.
he hurt his ankle.
But I also don't think Gordon Hayward makes the Celtics that much better. I think they got to trade him. He's their most expensive player.
It
But
was so unfortunate because he played 5 minutes for them before his ankle
I
before that
know
injury. Dude, remember we were watching that live when it happened?
did
That was we
horrible.
were sitting on our house, Chris and I
Mhm,
back. I think we had just graduated college. We were sitting in our house and like I was making dinner or something. Chris was watching the game,
mhm.
and I hear like you like shout from the other room. You're like, "Dude, come look at this!" And like I see his ankle like,
Yeah,
and I was like, "Why did you call me over here? Now I don't want to eat anymore." But they like if he had stayed healthy, I also don't think we would have that we would have the Jason Tatum that and
yeah,
Jaylen Brown that we do now. So
yeah. So it's unfortunate, but he's their highest paid player, but fourth best player.
yeah,
So, but so I'd go. I picked Toronto there. They got the confidence and experience from last year, and they have the best coach in the league. So,
they do. Nick Nurse is a good coach. Brad Stevens is no slouch though. Too, I think
Brad Stevens is also phenomenal,
I
but
think you're probably splitting hairs coaching
it,
wise.
it's a 7 game series.
I think so. I have Boston personally. I think Tatum. I think Tatum will be the difference because at the other positions you have matchups that you can kind of see like Kemba Walker versus Kyle Lowry's kind of splitting hairs. I think each of them on their day is better than the other one.
Hmm.
And then like Siakam, I don't really know who would guard Siakam.
Probably Tatum.
Brown, Tatum or Brown maybe.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't know who on Toronto guards Tatum. If they put whoever they put on Brown or like I don't do they have the wing defenders to handle both of them?
see, that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, like Fred Van Fleet,
Van
um,
Fleet's small
your
though.
other
Is he's like
guy.
6'1", isn't he?
Yeah. Um,
So Tatum is what 6'8", and Brown is 6'7", 6'8" as well.
yeah. So that's gonna be a tough matchup. And that's my edge is like Tatum's young and he was inconsistent a little bit this year and in the playoffs so far. But um, if he's on, it's Boston. If he's
Yeah,
off, it's Toronto.
yeah, I agree with that. Normally in
Yeah,
those matchups, I tend to err on the side of they're going to play well, which is why I pick Boston.
yeah,
So I think we're probably on the same page. I think a lot rides on Tatum because if Tatum is playing like how like at his or close to his best, I don't really think I think Boston. If Tatum plays at his best for the whole series, I think Boston wins in six, not even in seven.
hmm,
But I don't know. I mean, Kyle Lowry obviously and Siakam. Depend if Siakam turns it on as well. Then if they both play well, then we could be in for a really good series. So
the other thing you got to think about is everything going on right now. Like mentally, it's
who's
hard. Like
like
with
mentally who's going to be better? Yeah,
yeah, so like you're isolated in a bubble, boycotts and protests going on. I think maturity and experience are going to prevail because the young athletes might be a little bit more frazzled or
mm-hmm.
their minds are a little
Yeah,
split and everything. So that's where I'm picking an older, experienced team like Toronto versus a younger team.
yeah. That's fair. Then we got Miami, Milwaukee.
Assuming so, Milwaukee's still playing their series against the Magic. I think that's the game going on right now, or at least in a little
Yeah,
bit.
they're
So
up 3-1,
assuming
aren't they?
Milwaukee wins, huh?
Yeah, they're up
Yeah,
three
they're
one,
up
aren't they? Yeah.
1, yeah. In that series again,
I'm
he looks
going.
so
I'm
good.
going Miami because I'm a Miami
I
fan.
know you are. That's just they look so good against Indiana.
We did.
But
We looked really good. I watched 3 of the 4 games.
I'm
Duncan
gonna pick.
Rob. Do you remember
I
we
pick
watched Duncan Robinson live when he was playing at Williams
oh my gosh, yes,
before he transferred to Michigan? He's a
yeah.
freshman. He was a freshman at Williams. We watched him play. They they killed us.
I forgot about that. Oh
We
my god.
actually we actually didn't play bad that game. We had a lot of good. I remember it
Yeah.
being like we had a lot of good looks. We just didn't hit them because we were live
Yeah.
by the three, die by the three. In that game, we died by the three.
Well, think about the day before, like in the D3 tournament, you don't have days off. Right?
No.
You play back to back. And the day
Mhm.
before was just that emotionally
Oh, the Virginia Wesleyan game.
Virginia Wesleyan. That game I'll never forget. It was
Mm-mm.
just
Nope.
it was so gritty. It was so hard.
78,
I I,
74.
I literally was screaming so loud, my nose started bleeding. With like two
I
minutes
remember
left,
that.
like 2 minutes left in the game, I ran up to the bathroom, to stop a nosebleed.
I remember that. We were sitting in the front row. It took you forever to get back down because we were yelling the whole game. I didn't have a voice after that.
That was the peak of
So,
college.
yeah, 78,
Freshman year.
74 win. Then we go play Duncan Robinson's D3 team. They killed us. They killed us on the scoreboard. We died by the three. Like we shot lights out from three all year, and then that game we just didn't hit.
They're tired, man. That
Yeah.
game before took everything out of them.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if Duncan Robinson is enough to take down Giannis.
No, definitely not. But on the other hand, Jimmy Butler is looking very good. All of a sudden, he's hitting some threes, which he hadn't all year. Tyler Hero is looking good. Dragic is looking good. Bam is looking good. The thing with Miami is Bam can move, and he's big enough to stay with Giannis. Like he's not gonna shut him down because nobody's gonna shut Giannis down. But Middleton is playing like garbage, and Bledsoe's playing like garbage.
Yeah.
And those are the other two guys they have. So I feel like we'll let Giannis get his, and we'll just shut everybody else down. And I think we have more firepower.
I think it'll look a lot like the Clippers and Mavericks right now. It'll be an ugly 6 or 7 game series win from Milwaukee, but it's going to be all Giannis who gets it done. Just like right now for the Clippers, if you just look on paper, you'd think Mavericks are crushing them, but it's tied 2-2. And Kawhi is carrying the team because Paul George, outside of one game, has stunk.
Yeah, he's been horrible.
And
They called him Pandemic P.
So I think we're gonna be talking about it like that. The Heat are gonna look like the better team, but Giannis is gonna carry his sluggish.
Yeah.
Over.
Well, I really hope that Dallas pulls it out. I don't think they will because Luka's ankle is probably toast. But
yeah.
But yeah, I hope. I don't know. I think Miami's a better team than Dallas, and I think the Clippers are a worse team. I meant the Bucks are a worse team than the Clippers. So if it is that way, I think the gap is smaller enough. Like, if the series had gone exactly how the Dallas Clippers series had gone, I would say Miami's up 3-1 instead of being 2-2.
Yeah.
So if it does go that way, and the thing, like, Jimmy Butler is like, he's just got this like personality about him that he doesn't want to lose.
Yeah. He'll carry that team far, and you can see that everyone's bought in to his playing style, his leadership style.
And the other thing is about carrying them, he doesn't have to carry all the scoring weight because Bam can get his, Hero can get his, Duncan Robinson, you get him 5 open threes, he's hitting 4 of them. Dragic can get his. Like, I can name probably of those 5 or 6 players, it would not be implausible to see any of them just happen to have a 30-point game.
Right. Yeah. I think the loss of Malcolm Brogdon for the Bucks hurt, and they're gonna feel that now because in playoff time your depth is revealed, and they're gonna feel that in this series because they're not deep at guard. And Heat have a lot of good shooters. So Malcolm Brogdon, he's not a big name, but he's an amazing defender, and he can go get points. So I think this is a series where that'll be exposed for Milwaukee.
Or even Olynyk also can go get you a 20-point game because they're all shooters.
Yep.
Like, all their 20-point games are like 8 for 12 shooting, like 4 for 6 from 3. Like, they do it we score efficiently a lot.
Yeah, and you're not afraid either. You're not intimidated.
No, and Eric Spoelstra is a good coach as well.
Oh yeah.
So like we had our down years after when Dwayne Wade was getting old and LeBron left, but the trade to get Jimmy Butler, like I was kind of sad that we had to let Josh Richardson go, but he hasn't been that good for Philly.
Mhm.
And so I don't know.
I think you won that trade.
Yeah, I mean most like 99 times out of 100, whoever gets the best player in the deal wins the trade.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I'm really liking the look of the Miami team. So I don't know. We'll see. So then in the West, Dallas and the Clippers are at 2-2 still. Are they playing today?
I think they are. Yeah.
Who you got in that one? I feel like the Clippers are going to pull it out. As much as I want Dallas to pull it out, I think the Clippers will.
I think it's the Clippers. I think without Porzingis, and with a hobbled Luka, it was an amazing performance that one game. But Clippers in the last game were just so dominant.
Yeah, they were.
I think they were sleeping a little bit the first few games, and they turned their focus on it. So I think if they don't close out in 6, they'll win it in 7.
Yeah.
I think the Clippers are going to,
they're just better. Did you watch game 1 of that series?
No.
So the first like 10 minutes or 8 minutes or so, the Clippers were up 18-2. And the defense, Luka had like 4 turnovers in the first like 6-7 minutes. The defense was looking insane, and I was like, wow, the Clippers really just turned it on. And then Luka settled in. They came back. They took the lead at one point. That was that stupid game that Porzingis got ejected for that super soft ejection. And they ended up losing by like 6 or 8. And I was talking to one of my other friends, and I was like, Porzingis gets ejected like part in the middle of the game, either late second or early third quarter. You would think that he would make up 8 points off on the offensive or defensive end, right? He alters a couple shots, makes a couple tough shots that somebody else doesn't make. You think he alters that game by 8 points. And you're looking at that like they could have been up 3-1. And then Luka hurts his ankle, still drops like 40, whatever ridiculous stat line he drops. And it's like, it's only 2-2. Like you would think that they would, like you were saying earlier, you'd think by how they're playing that they'd be up more. But I think like Kawhi, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that Luka's been able to score so easily when they have the two, like you would say probably the 3 best backcourt defenders, 3 of the top 5, and Paul George, Kawhi, and Pat Beverly, and he's dropping 40 like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So they'll be back next year for sure.
They will. And I think they just need like not one more star, but like one more good role player.
They either need Hardaway to take that next step to get to like an 18 point a game scorer, or they need to grab somebody else who's going to be in that sort of role.
I really hope Luka and Porzingis both stay healthy and stay together, because I think they can be what Dirk and Steve Nash never were.
Yes, that
duo excites me so much.
It does, and I think it excites Mark Cuban as well. I like Mark Cuban, to be honest. Like not just Shark Tank, but because on Shark Tank he can be kind of a jerk sometimes. But like just generally how he is when he's like, he doesn't come across like when like the clothes he wears jeans and t-shirts. Like you would not think that, and like he comes across like if you just saw him on the street, like, and you didn't know who he was, like you wouldn't be like billionaire.
Yeah.
And that's really cool.
Down to earth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Luka could be better than Steve Nash, though.
I think so too. I hate to say it because Steve Nash was like my OG favorite.
Yeah.
But I think Luka will surpass him. Especially if he wins a title, because Steve Nash never won a title. So.
No. Yeah. Exactly. I think he's a better, like, to say he's a better scorer than Nash is, if you need a bucket at the end of the game, you're going to take Luka.
Yeah.
Than Nash. Like Nash got his in transition, and he got his off pick and rolls and other stuff. But if you need somebody to go get you a bucket, Luka's going to go get you a bucket.
Yeah.
But all right. So who else is left in the West?
We got Lakers Trailblazers 3-1.
And Lillard is hurt, so
No Lillard. So
that's a wrap. And then
we got
why am I blanking?
we've got Nuggets and Jazz.
Is it
That
is
is
that
Jazz are
2-2?
up. It's Jazz are up 3-2.
Up 3-2. Ooh.
They were up 3-1, but the Nuggets forced a game 6.
Do you think the Jazz close it out or the Nuggets come back?
I don't know. I want to like the Nuggets on paper are so much better,
Mm-hmm.
but the Jazz got up 3-1 for a reason.
Yeah, because
I
Donovan Mitchell's been playing out of his mind.
Yeah, but the thing that Jazz have been lacking were leadership, and they have that with Mike Conley now. And I think that's been the difference in the playoffs and why they're playing so much better than a clearly better Nuggets team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Jazz close it out.
Yeah, I
Because
think
it took a Herculean effort by Jamal Murray to even stay alive. If you watched anything,
Oh yeah.
go watch Jamal Murray's like last 5 minutes of
Yeah.
Game 5.
He was a walking bucket.
It was insane. But he's not going to do that for 2 more games, so it's going to be
No. Yeah, I can see that. I think the Jazz go out next round though. I don't think either of these teams wins the next round, no matter who they play. Like even if they're playing Dallas, I think Dallas beats both teams. To be honest, I don't know. Like this matchup is just one of those where it's like you slug it out and then just lose the next round.
Yeah.
Who's the last one?
I'm blanking too. So it would be, I think the Clippers, if it plays out the way we think, it would be Clippers playing the Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lakers, they're playing, Rockets Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
Rockets Thunder, that's 2-2.
Isn't Russ going to be back for Game 5?
I think Russ is back. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the Rockets probably pull that one out. I just don't think the Thunder have enough.
The Thunder won 2 in a row.
Yeah.
But I've thought the same thing. I've thought all year they don't have enough. And that's the thing about Russell Westbrook coming back. He's one of those guys that's like, he doesn't automatically make your team better. When they're playing the right way, he makes them better. But they got up 2-0 without him.
Yeah, that's true.
It's he's a firecracker. It's he can be destructive or just what you need. So
I think both of those teams lose in the next round also, no matter who wins.
I don't know. I think
against the Lakers?
I think so think about the Rockets when they're on. For the sake of this, I'm gonna take Rockets in 7.
Okay. Yeah, I can get behind that.
And think about the Rockets. They're basically a souped-up Trailblazer team. They are a guard-heavy, 3-point shooting, fast-break team.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't really play great defense. And the Trailblazers gave the Lakers a little bit of trouble, so I think the Rockets could give the Lakers a little bit more trouble. Again, assuming everyone's working together as they should.
Yeah. I think James dances too much, though.
I agree.
He's gonna get tired.
I would pick Lakers in 6 in that series, but in a perfect world, not a perfect world, but like if the Rockets are playing at their best, I think they have a better shot of beating the Lakers than the Thunder.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think I'd rather see the Thunder play though because they're fun to watch and they're such a great team.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing LeBron and Chris Paul play against each other would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Just like watching LeBron and Carmelo play against each other is fun right now.
Yeah, I need to catch that last game, that Game 5. Is that tomorrow, today, or tomorrow? I think it's today.
Yeah, it's today or tomorrow. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah, I need to catch that game.
Yeah, could be Kamaro's last.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? That'll be once that whole class, because Bosch already retired, but once that whole kind of 04, 05, or 03, 04, and then 04, 05 classes are done. So like when Chris Paul's done, LeBron's done, Melo's done, Bosch is done, Wade's done, Dwight Howard. Like when that whole class is kind of done, that'll be like the era. Like it's already shifting, but
yeah,
that'll be like the final one because LeBron is still so good, so it still feels like they're all around kind of.
Hmm.
But all right, so then we'll go Rockets, Lakers. I think Lakers in
Lakers,
6. Just think
Lakers and
they're
6.
they're too big. They're too big,
Yeah,
and LeBron is too good. And if they start PJ Tucker at the 5, who's going to guard Anthony Davis?
right.
Um, then
And you'd have Jazz Clippers.
Jazz, Clippers are too good as well because the difference between Luka and Donovan Mitchell, Luka's bigger and his game is a little bit more polished, based less on off athleticism and more just on like skill set. And against a
Yeah.
defender like a Kawhi or Pat Beverly or Paul George, Luka's offensive game is uniquely well suited to going against defenders like that. I think, anyways.
Yeah. No,
So I think
agree.
Donovan Mitchell will have a lot more trouble than Luka did.
It's a much better matchup for the Clippers. And I think, after they find their groove in the first round, I think they carry that. I think it's like a 5-game.
Yeah,
defeat.
yeah, I think so too. And then all right, so then we got Lakers Clippers in the conference finals. Who you got?
I was avoiding that one. I want to say Clippers. I don't know. I did Kawhi. I like his style of just like focus. But with everything that went on this year with the pandemic and Kobe, I can't root against the Lakers. Like I want to. I grew up not liking these, the dominant teams like the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like LeBron going there because it was just like whatever. But I don't know. I think that's a better story. I wanted Kawhi to stay in Toronto. I think that was just like the perfect place
Yeah,
for him. And when he went through Clippers and kind of forced Paul George there, I was like, whatever.
yeah.
I think the Lakers are fun to watch.
It would be if the Lakers were to win. I think that would be a very good way, a better way to end the year.
My thing is like I know what LeBron winning another championship. I know what it means. It means people are gonna say he's the GOAT, and I don't think he's the GOAT, and I don't want to have to hear that constantly. So it'd be cool for him to win a championship, but I don't want to hear the debate. I don't.
No, well, I mean, you just want them to win because of Kobe, really, more than anything.
I think that'd be cool. And honestly, like when the season before the pandemic, that's like all I could think about. But then like everything else that's gone on since his death, like it's almost an afterthought.
Mm-hmm.
When like the Lakers winning the championship the same year Kobe dies, that should be like front of mind.
Yeah.
I forget all the time that Kobe died this year. Like it's just crazy. But
yeah,
that's my rooting interest. So I'd say Lakers in 7.
All right. So back to the East. So are we?
No, we were against each other on
Milwaukee, Miami.
Milwaukee, Miami.
So I'm taking Miami. You got Milwaukee.
Yeah.
All right, and then the other one. Oh, we're against each other with that one too.
Yeah.
All right, so let's take yours first. So Toronto, Milwaukee. Who you got?
Toronto, Milwaukee. I would say Toronto. I think they're deeper, and I think they learned last year how to beat Giannis, and I don't think Giannis has the help around him.
Yeah.
At the guard position, at the forward position, the way Toronto can rebound and stretch the floor, I would take Toronto in 7.
Yeah, that would definitely go to the wire, I think. All right, if it's Miami, Boston, who you got?
Boston.
Yeah, I do too. As a fan, I was like, yeah, Miami. I think Boston beats Milwaukee as well. If it gets to that, I think they have more scoring options. I think Miami Boston would be the most fun series to watch as far as free flowing, not hack a Giannis basketball. Free flowing, anybody can like. Both teams have five person lineups where everybody can score. Like Derek Jones Jr. doesn't get like, dude can score too. Like we'll put him at the 5 and we'll run super small and everybody can score and Boston can do the same. I think that would be the most fun to watch. But yeah, I think Boston would probably win. All
Yeah.
right, so wow, it would be really fitting if it was Lakers Boston in the championship and then the
Yeah.
Lakers won. I don't know. All right, so we'll go Milwaukee, or you said Toronto. So we'll go Lakers, Toronto first. Do you have LA?
Yeah, I got Lakers. That sounds like a 6-game
Yeah. Do you have the
series.
Lakers no matter who gets out of the East?
See, I think if Milwaukee makes it to the finals, see, that's a weird thing. If Milwaukee makes it to the finals, I would pick Milwaukee, but I
Yeah.
don't think Milwaukee makes it to the finals. Um, but
They just match up better.
they match up better. And, if Milwaukee gets out of the East, that tells me that they're playing their best basketball. And if they're playing their best basketball, they beat the Lakers. But I don't trust Milwaukee to play their best basketball in the playoffs. I don't trust the help around Giannis, which is why I have them out. Talking about who we have, either Boston or Toronto, I think it's Lakers.
Yeah.
The experience they have over Boston and the size and star power they have over Toronto. Yeah.
All right, so finals prediction. Who you got?
Uh,
Lakers over.
I'd say Lakers over Toronto in 6.
You heard it here first. Thanks for being on, Chris. I really appreciate it. We just did like almost 2 hours. Which is crazy. It's been a great
that
episode.
went by fast.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it when you're talking. You're just going through. I just looked at the clock. It was like it's 2:30 already. So, Any last nuggets from you?
Nope.
Sounds good. We'll end it there. Bye,
Yeah,
everybody.
love you, Eric. Thanks for having me.
For sure.